when it comes to health, a lot of times we focus on food, we focus on drink, we focus on air, we focus on trauma. One of the things that we don't consider is astrology. What's going on in the greater cosmos and how that can impact you on all those different levels. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. I'm your host, Scott Paton. Joining us, as usual, is health engineer Martin Pytela. Martin, every year we do a astrological show talking about what's happening in the greater universe that's impacting our planet. And this year it's so different. So why don't we start by a review. Talk a little bit about what you had talked about last year and how that's come forward, and then what the coming year holds for everybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. I mean, in case you're listening to it first time out and you're wondering, astrology, seriously? Well, listen, the sun, moon, and earth dance together, and you have tides demonstrating the waves on the ocean and the rising and ebbing of the tide. But even the more distant planets exert their subtle but unmistakable influences. We have made predictions, and you can look back that these predictions check out. So take it or leave it. Anyway, so we ended the 20-year stint of Pluto in Capricorn last year. Pluto entered Aquarius in 2024, and it's going to be there until 2044. So that was the main theme of the talk that we did last year, a year ago, when we were saying something like, folks, we will have to become more aware of what needs to be changed and why, before we can figure out what to do about it. And so this process, as we were going through that, reflecting on the nonsense that we were coming through, and I don't know if you're, the Pluto Capricorn, the Pluto energy is burn everything. It's like a nuclear explosion. It just burn it down so that you can find the diamonds in the ashes of your burned down existence. That good. And so the Capricorn stuff, that's banking and politics and religion and cultural superstructures and that sort of thing.
Boy, we've sure seen a whole burning down in the political, cultural realms, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. But it's doing it because it wants to make society and our future a better place.
Right. Well, and I think both sides would say, yeah, we need to get it down to the foundation and rebuild, because this is not working for anybody.
Yeah. And so the line was, we will be radically transformed. And so Pluto in Aquarius, now firmly planted there from it, I think it was November 19, 2024. So all of 25 and a smidge of 24. Anyway, the election happened in the old regime, and the fallout of it is in the new regime, right? And here's a line. Pluto in Aquarius is going to dredge up all the corruption in science to the surface and reveal the fantasy behind our technological obsessions. It will reveal the dark side of technology, wars fought through screens, drones, robots, biotech, DNA, all of that.
Well, that sounds right on.
We're right on. Okay. And so the most important hit of the last year was Uranus in Gemini, and that was there between July 7 and November 8. And it's out of Gemini until April 26. It will come back. And then it will stay there for 7 years. So we have this little respite from November to April. But here, what we said, Uranus is a planet of disruption and breakups. So inventions, crashes, disturbances.
And we're still talking about last year, right?
Yeah. So it started in mid-July or early July and ran until November. We are just taking a 4-month break from it. So revolutionary, yeah?
Yeah, crashes. Well, Bitcoin went up to 110,000 or 120,000. Now it's down to 185,000 or 100 or not. Sorry,
No.
85,000.
Yeah, it's a massive switch. It's actually, so just take pause. Starting April 26, we'll be back Uranus in Gemini, and it's going to be on full force until 2033. So contemplate that we're going to go through, again, inventions, crashes, disturbances. Gemini is the area of commerce, transport, communication. There will be, I don't know, you will not recognize how we do business pretty soon. I mean, the changes will be just massive. Anyway, so saying about Uranus, it represents the principle of revolution, freedom, change, and need for originality, independence, especially from old ways. And you can expect sudden and unexpected breakdowns, but also breakthroughs, flashes of insight, awakenings, rebellions, electrifying energy that speeds things up and creates excitement, but restlessness and plugging us into the universal mind and stimulating innovation and brilliance. Changing the way we think, we communicate, we trade, transport goods. However, remember this, the story of the emperor and his new clothes. You know, that innocent child who points at the emperor who's standing in his underwear because the charlatan said, I have this awesome fabric, behold.
Yes.
Everybody was saying, yes, awesome fabric, even though they couldn't see it, because he set it up something like, only the most intelligent people can see this.
Right.
Right. And so everybody says, well, I'm most intelligent, but I don't see it. Oh my God, I must be stupid.
I don't want to be stupid.
So therefore, I will say, yes, awesome fabric. Right. Now, if you can relate it back, it's saying masks will help you. The third booster shot will help you.
Stand 6 feet away.
Yeah, stand 6 feet away.
We've gone through that whole emperor's new clothes thing.
Yeah, that. Anyway, so the next 7 years will be highly unpredictable, and the pace of change could become so fast that we'll struggle to keep up. However, much of that energy may be more like churn, as things will appear to change without really progressing.
Well, we're seeing that in the world of AI right now. Like the change between creating an image using AI now and 6 months ago is astronomical.
Yeah.
The change between making a video with AI and now is unbelievable. Like I remember I use a software called HeyGen, and I was talking to one of my peers, and he says, well, I want to do blah, 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 blah. I says, oh, you just use HeyGen. Oh, I tried that 8 months ago, and I didn't think it was very good. Says, dude, that was 8 months ago.
Stone Age in AI days.
Yeah, it's like Stone Age, best way to put it. It was the Stone Age. And one of my other friends says, AI is the worst it will ever be today. Tomorrow
Yeah.
it'll be 2 times better, 3 times better. The
Mhm.
next,
Yeah,
just-
as we're recording it, Gemini 3.0 is out, and the Anthropic is putting out Claude version out of him. Anyway, I don't want to get technical. That's most people's interest, not here. What I want to acknowledge is that some of these quotes are from Jessica Davidson. She's an astrologer and a researcher from the UK. So if you want, you can look up jessicadavidson.co.uk. She writes awesome stuff. I'm trying to squish it down to more digestible, but if you want to geek out on astrology, she is awesome. Anyway, so
is there another planet
revolutionize-
we want to talk about?
revolutionize your thinking so you can develop greater mental freedom. Revolutionize your thinking so you can develop greater mental freedom. If you do not, you will become a mental slave.
That's really the choice people are at right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fork in the road, massive.
And it's clear. Like, I mean, it's really clear.
Yeah. Listen to something that she wrote several years ago, before it even started. Learn new skills, explore new methods of learning, communicate in a more authentic way, develop greater flexibility in your thinking, learn how to think critically, supercharge your intuition, embrace your weirdness and divergent thinking. Let go of false identities and embrace your true self. Become more detached and less emotionally reactive. This is the advice for the next 7 years of Uranus Gemini stuff.
They always seem to be two-edged swords, don't they?
Oh, always. If you don't take personal accountability and responsibility, you will likely be led. You will be thumb twitching on your phone while emotionally dead inside.
A friend of mine just messaged me yesterday. He was watching a video and they did a brain scan.
Yeah.
And then the person scrolled on Instagram or wherever, and then they did a brain scan. And it was so different, my friend decided he's not going to be on social media anymore.
Yeah, it's highly, highly disruptive. Okay, so Uranus in Gemini combined with Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, we have the revolution of the Aquarian concepts, which is computers and society and greater picture and all of that. And it's an overlay of two things. Anyway, this will accelerate the soul crisis by making us face all the things that we have banished into the shadows in our pursuit of rationalism. And these are our instincts, feelings, imagination, fantasy, mysticism. This is what our tech obsession is trying to obliterate in order to make reality make sense.
And we see that in control, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't jaywalk at 2 a.m. when there's no cars on the street.
Yeah. You have to stop at a red light and wait for 25 seconds, even though you can see there's nobody miles around. That sort of nonsense.
Which reminds me of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
This fellow was in a taxi in Mexico City, and he's driving along, and to his shock and amazement, the taxi driver drives through a red light. And he goes like, "Whoa, you just went through a red light. Oh, don't worry, senor, it's okay." And then there's another red light, boom, right through it. "Why are you going through these red lights? We're going to have an accident." "No, senor, my brother, he taught me how to be a good taxi driver. No problem." And then he's going along and there's a green light and the guy slams on his brakes. "Why did you stop? It's a green light." "Oh, my brother's around here somewhere."
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So know when to break the rules.
Yeah.
Which for some reason they know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, these chatbots, right? We talked about chatbots. Like they could be just phenomenal servants, and they could be horrendously bad partners.
The problem with the robot and a computer interface is there's no gray. So it's like if you had a ticket and you were 5 miles over the speed limit or something, and you went to see the judge and you said, blah, 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 he would just like, yeah, or he might say, yeah, forget it, right?
Yeah.
Or the police officer might say, forget it. But when it's a camera and it mails it to you, nobody's
You're over. What's the discussion? There's no discussion.
That's right. And that we just become more and more rigid when I think human beings are meant to be flexible.
Well, so there's this thing, on Myers-Briggs personality test, you will have the judging, perceiving axis. The judging extreme says, rules are rule, it will be enforced at all cost. Perceiving is, well, the circumstance is so important, you have to adjust, right? And so you cannot have cops who are perceivers because they will always be adjusting and excusing everything, and they will never write a fine,
right?
And never really pursue the law. And the extreme of it is, for example, in the drug or in dealing with the homeless and drugged people, right? Like we're trying to smother them with love, but it's not the right approach. I think. Could be wrong, but I believe that tough love is needed. Anyway, extremes, right? So
depending on the situation, right?
Yeah. Well, and in programmatic rules, the gray area is not there. It's either left of center or right of center.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so have we?
So anyway, we saw this business with the chat character AI and whatever. There's a congressional investigation into children who have taken their own lives under the influence of the chatbots that they were hanging out with. It's terrible. And these techno companies are hiding behind some disclaimers and not owning it because they are all fighting to roll it out faster. And there are issues. Watch for your children interacting with these machines because they could be in just a horrendous trouble.
Yeah. And it lies.
Yeah. Or it actually is programmed to agree with you. It's programmed to bring you stuff that will reinforce your position.
Wow.
Okay, so there's more. So we are dealing with this really cute thing called Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Okay, so Saturn is the planet that denotes realism. Well, okay, Neptune is the soft and doggies. So Saturn is all the. No, I'll try and explain it this way. We're dealing with manifestation of collective ideals in politics, religion, and society. And it's science and religion mashed together, the collision, right? Religion is all the faith and science is all the facts in collision. And realism and faith in collision, and truth and lie in collision, fact and fiction in collision, matter and spirit mashed together. And it's coming to a head in February 2026. Last time we had stuff like that, it would give rise to utopian ideals and movements in politics and culture, but loss of confidence and discontent with established structures or events. Revelations of truth, seeing through an illusion, unmasking deception. Last time we had something like this, 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Oh,
Another one, 1952, it was a really dark time. We were dealing with the McCarthyism in the United States and the political assassinations and trials in Europe, Russia and whatnot. The one before that, 1917, the end or the birth of the communists, the Bolsheviks in Russia. So you could go from okay to crazy, or you can go from crazy to okay. I don't know. The 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall, was the end of the illusion of the communism. So now in 2026, what illusion are we going to break up?
my guess would be the infallibility of the medical system.
Yeah, it could be the medical, it could be the politics, it could be the money, it could be the banking, it could be the government itself, governance as such. The death of a dream or loss of an ideal. Here's more. Darkening of the collective consciousness, feelings of social malaise, often in response to tragic events. Collective experience of loss, defeat, disillusionment, mourning, grief. Implosion and dissolution of materialism and scientism. That's what we could expect. The science is going to be settled by evaporation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So here's the personal ideas. I have it written on a piece of paper here. Express yourself. Deal with your fears, doubts, and limits. Know thyself. You will be tested. Bring your resolve, because you may become stuck. You need to work on your self-discipline and self-mastery. The old order is finished. You can expect uprisings and revolts. There's a lot of it.
Well, and we're already seeing that. You know, we had the Nepal had this big uprising. The military joined with the students and threw out the government. And then we've had riots in France and Spain, which in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's happening.
Yeah. So, okay, in bigger picture. So we have these three massive things going on. Pluto is in Aquarius. So that's the transformer of society and technology. Uranus is in Gemini, which is the awakener of the communications and intellect and commerce and transport. Neptune is in Aries, which is, he's the dreamer, but in Aries is the new beginnings, starting up. So, unlike the grinding, destructive squares of 2020s, this energy is fluid and rapid.
Right.
Expect Renaissance 2.0, where science and philosophy will merge, leading to rapid advancements in energy, transportation, and information networks. Yeah.
So it could be great or it could be terrible.
Right. So then I mentioned that Saturn conjuncting Neptune at 0 degree Aries, mind you, which is like the new beginnings. And so the dissolution, right? 1989, the end of the Soviet Union as we knew it. 1917, the Russian Revolution, but also the Spanish flu. Or 1861, Neptune into Aries, American Civil War. So global reboot would be the most likely concept for this. So if I were to describe it, total collapse or total reinvention of a major global institution or a boundary. So this could be dissolving national borders, or collapse of a currency, or
collapse of the UN, maybe.
Or collapse of Canada. What do you know? Collapse of European Union. I don't know.
It's a lot of things teetering on the brink.
Yeah. We have something really important for our American viewers, and that's this. The United States was born with Uranus in Gemini. 1775 to 1783, the Revolutionary War, Uranus was in Gemini. In 1861 to 1865, the Civil War, Uranus was in Gemini. In 1941 to 1949, World War II and Cold War, Uranus was in Gemini. So there is definite signature that something important is underway. Now, we don't necessarily have to have a shooting war, but we might see the total split between the people who lean left and lean right. You know, the red and the blue. It could be that this war will be fought over data, truth, control of the narrative. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's coming, but it's starting now, and it will last for 7 years. So somewhere through those 7 years, we will see some dramatic transformations. I don't know what that is.
Right.
And lastly, Jupiter in Leo in middle of the year, middle of 2026. Jupiter in Leo will directly oppose the Pluto in Aquarius. And this is a tension. There will be a clash between the king, Jupiter in Leo, and the hive mind, Pluto in Aquarius. So there will be a struggle between the centralized charismatic leadership and decentralized collective power. So I don't know what that means. Digital feudalism? Techno-populism? I don't know. Maybe both.
The end of the monarchy?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, Trump is involved in here. He could be the Leo. You know, he could. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all we know that the Pluto in Capricorn that ended in 2025 was the destruction of the old world. To 2026 is creating the blueprint for the new one. The danger lies in the possible information civil war, or the confusion of reality. So we are really, the rare opportunity, the rare window where humanity has the technological and spiritual tools to build a system that's radically more efficient and interconnected than anything seen before. Now, how's that for wild and intense?
That's pretty intense.
Right? And so that's 2026. This is the most loaded thing you will experience in hundreds of years back and hundreds of years forward. Like, this is not just some idle talk. This is the, the hourglass, the sand clock, where you have this hourglass shaped vessel and you have sand in the top. The last grain will fall out of the top into the bottom on February 20th, 2026. And then the grand master of the clock will flip that clock over and start the new period.
Right.
7 planets in Aries. That's not unprecedented. And Aries representing new beginnings, right? Like it's like, I don't know. Somebody opens the shoot and all the race horses start running full speed, right? February 20. Mark my words.
Enjoy the ride.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know what's coming, but lies will not cut it. Pretending will not cut it. Learn intuitive tools, right?
Yeah.
Learn to
listen to your intuition.
Yeah. We all need to become real, authentic, centered, grounded. Yeah, that's the story.
All right. So any last words, Martin, as we come to the end of our time together today?
Well, I'm looking forward to it with great deal of trepidation. I'm hoping that we collectively are going to come together, hold hands, and be nice to one another. Because if we're not,
be nice.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to point out is this. The AI affair is coming, and we are training it. So we better try and be the parents, by example, to the child, the AI, because it's learning from us. It will treat us the way we treat each other. I don't know if it's not too late, but boy, there's plenty of examples of fear-based behavior, which is giving rise to shortcuts and bad choices. I think most people, all the complaints, Scott, that I see out there, like about the rich ones, like I'll just pick on Bill Gates, right? I just keep wondering, what's he afraid of that he's chasing this destructive streak of holding on to things and controlling things instead of allowing?
Yeah, good question.
A smaller example, up in Canada, we had that truck driver uprising during the COVID shutdowns.
Yeah.
And the Premier of Canada, Justin Trudeau, all he needed to do was invite the people or go where they were, sit down with them and listen. Just listen to their concerns, acknowledge them. He didn't do that. He declared them to be unworthy. He declared them to be broken people that should be crushed. Yeah. Crush them.
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Yeah. He didn't want to acknowledge them or talk to them or do anything.
Yeah. And yet that act alone would have just simply deflated the whole tension. Or maybe he could have learned something, but he chose not to. So I have the message for most anyone in any area. Try and be receptive to other people's viewpoints. Try to consider the possibility that you're wrong about something. Don't react. Count to 5 and then respond. Yeah. That would be my biggest advice for 2026. Don't get triggered. Take your time to think it through and appreciate the other side's perspective.
There you go. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. And this has been the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey! Hey!